Good afternoon. I'm Elaine Meter-Wilgus, and I'm joining you in the StreamYard studios today for Live at 1. And I am by myself right now, holed up in my little secret hideaway in where we store lots of lamps, apparently. Today, I was hoping to be joined by Michelle Rodino-Colocino and her daughter Stella, who are a mother and daughter improv group, but we're having some technical difficulties. But I want to take an opportunity to share some information with you. Next week, folks, is the week of the Central Pennsylvania Theater and Dance Fest. So we'll be coming to you live every day of the week at 1, June 7th through the 13th, the whole way through the festival. Now, let's look at the festival website, and I want to talk you through how you can purchase tickets to individual events, such as Michelle and Stella's awesome mother-daughter improv performance. That's part of our festival this year, as well as play readings, performances, and an amazing dance performance with live dancers coming from Egypt with Black Cat Belly Dance. So let's, Vanessa, can we look at the theater festival website? Beautiful. When you click on the centralpatheater.com, and you'll see a Broadway on Demand link, and that's going to take you to the different shows that you can, like I said, either purchase individual tickets or you can buy a show pass, which will get you into all of the shows, including Stella and Michelle's performance, as well as all the Tempest productions, at the Fuse Productions, Black Cat Belly Dance, Happy Valley Improv. All of these groups are bringing live virtual performances to your home through June 11th through 13th. So here's one thing I want to make abundantly clear. The festival this year is obviously happening virtually. And what we're realizing is we're in an era when artists are all struggling a bit. We're struggling maybe emotionally, professionally, and we're just trying to find connections. So we're asking folks who want to support artists to also support the festival with your ticket purchases. Now, we're using Broadway on Demand because this is an organization that not only is helping us with the festival, you can watch other performances and help other artists throughout the country and the world, actually. So the nice thing about this is it's a one-stop shop for our festival and other performances, but we're asking you to purchase those tickets because that goes directly to supporting artists in our region and keeping the festival vital for Central Pennsylvania. This is our fourth year, and it really, it's a little heartbreaking to be virtual again. But as the world opens up, we need to make sure that we're supporting our region's artists. And that's what the festival is doing this year through your purchase of the tickets for the shows. Oh, great. It looks like Michelle and Stella may be joining us in the studio soon. So let's stay tuned. And we'll roll with our live production. Vanessa, would you be able to tell us a little bit about the fest news that's going to be happening through the festival?
Yes, indeed. So if you were around for last year's festival, you know that me and Elizabeth Bagley and Randy Majori and Paul Marcinkevich had a great time doing a virtual show. So I'll just play you a little teaser, and you can take from it what you all will. But we're going to be back this year, and it was a crowd favorite last year. So
it was great. I look forward to it. Oh my gosh, that video, I forgot about that. That is so delightful. That alone is worth the cost of admission to Fest News. So well done, Vanessa.
And I hope you guys will join us for Fest News again this year. We'll be going every day of the festival, and you can join us and see some silly things and get some updates on the fest, which is always what we like to see. So
yeah, it's really interesting because, there's so much going on, right? Even when we were live in person and when we're virtual, there's so much to do and to enjoy. Again, I want to remind folks that they want to purchase their tickets to the events early before the festival starts, because the streaming is only available during the festival. And this is another way that we're supporting artists by not putting these things up for eternity, so that they can't be turned into a way to support the artists. So those streaming links and the tickets that you purchase through Broadway On Demand will just be available during the actual festival, the 11th through the 13th. So you don't want to check in at noon on the 13th and try to jam all of those performances in. So get your tickets now by going to centralpatheater.com and click on that Broadway On Demand link. Now you will be asked to set up a Broadway On Demand login, and that's okay. You're going to be setting up an account with them, and I bet you're going to find lots of opportunities to see other amazing, great performances on Broadway On Demand. Vanessa, I know that we've moved into this virtual world, and we're all sort of learning from it and with it as we grow with it. But I think that Broadway On Demand is another great way that we may see this sort of ability to see shows that we normally couldn't see throughout the year be available to us virtually. All right.
Like you said, it's not available all the time, so it still feels special, like you're there because you show up whenever the show starts and everything. So Broadway On Demand is a great way to celebrate the festival this year. Make sure you check out centralpatheater.com, and you can get any of the tickets you like.
That's, fantastic. And thank you. I want to publicly thank you, Vanessa, for all the amazing work that you've done over the years. You're started as an intern for Cynthia, and I know that you become a friend of the festival and of us as individuals, of course. But, it's really exciting to have seen you grow with the festival as well, Vanessa. You've done such an amazing job. And I really, really do enjoy the Fest News. So I look forward to those this year again. What do you think? Are we going to be able to have Michelle and Stella join us today?
It looks like we've got all our technical difficulties resolved. So I'm going to give you the stage and you can introduce them, and then they'll be here.
All right. Fantastic. Well, this is exciting news. Thank you for sticking with us, folks. It is my pleasure to welcome to the studio today a mother and daughter improv troupe that works right here in Central Pennsylvania, but has performances all across the country. It's really exciting to see what Michelle and Stella have done with improv, and I am honored to welcome them to the studio.
Yay! Yay! Oh my gosh. In true Zoom fashion, we have to ask, can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
Beautiful. Well, we did have a major tech issue that required a restart.
Wow.
And then I was locked out of my laptop for a while, and 3 devices later, the original laptop wanted to let us on after all. So here we are. Right.
This is the era in which we roll with it, right? Well done. Well, I want to launch right in, and I'm going to ask the two of you to kind of just give us some background on how the two of you formed a mother-daughter team. Obviously, you were a mother-daughter team from the get-go, but why improv?
I don't know. You were doing it, and you made me do it.
I was doing it, and I made her do it. I sucked her into the orb. I think what happened too, okay, so our show is QVC Commentary. Mm-hmm. And we kind of came into that because we started watching QVC kind of ironically.
It was ironic at first.
Mm-hmm. It was ironic at first.
We thought it was funny late at night.
It's
exactly.
True. So we're yes-anding each other on this. And this is how the show starts. The show often does start with some funny mishap, and a little bit of disagreement and eye roll, and then we start agreeing with each other and building. And so that's kind of like our shtick. So you've just seen a little vignette acted
it's
out.
not really a shtick. It's just how we act.
It's just how we really act in real life. So there's like a bit of reality TV in here.
That's not what reality TV is.
Stella, you're right. I think most reality TV is entirely faked. So I'm thrilled that you're going to bring your performance, which is actually real, to the festival this year. And we're hoping folks will purchase the tickets through the festival website. Yeah. You've got next week is a busy week for you. You have another performance that you're doing with, let me get the name right, Michelle and Stella, Laugh Riot Girl. And that's Wednesday, June 9th. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so that is an intersectional feminist comedy festival. How could we say no to that? We had to say yes to that.
Exactly.
So we're doing our show, and maybe I should say a little bit more about what it is we do. You know, we started, I don't know at what point in time, several years ago watching QVC.
It was like around before Thanksgiving it was like Thanksgiving break of 2019, I think.
She's our historian.
There you go.
She's the historian of the team. So Thanksgiving break 2019, we got kind of into QVC, I think, after SNL, after Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, because they weren't doing it because it was Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And so, and I was taking improv classes, and my first improv class was actually here at the Central Theater and Dance Fest in 2019, although I took a really long, like 30-year hiatus between middle school, and actually it was probably longer than that.
30 years?
It was probably longer than that. It was probably 35 or 7, anyways, years.
Bella, is this the eye rolling part?
Yeah.
Good job.
So it was like a perfect storm. It was a combination of moms got kind of addicted to improv. Pandemic happened. Weird new opportunities to do improv opened up on screens. Mm-hmm. And I started doing improv with a group of improvisers that were a lot of improvising out of the Pitt Theater in New York. Mm-hmm. And two of them, Kim Liu and Dana Schulman, decided they wanted to start doing shows on Instagram. Yeah. And then someone named Tom Kalnis helped, I think, with tech help. Anyway, I took a pick class. I don't know. It was like your peanut butter got stuck in chocolate and we made a Reese's bar. And one day I thought the way we talk about QVC is so ridiculous that it seems like a show. So they yes-anded that. So what we do is we watch QVC live, you know, which if anyone doesn't know, it's the 24-hour home shopping network.
It's HSN too, because they're basically the same.
They actually own them.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, they both like have the same vendors too.
So they sell stuff 24/7. And so what we'll be doing the show live next Thursday. The show you're going to see for the fest, the Central PA Theater and Dance Fest, was previously taped, but it was also all made up on the spot.
Yeah.
Improvised.
We couldn't edit it if we wanted
You can tell.
Excellent. And this is how people tell our show is live with our technical difficulties, right? Yeah, no one would go to this much trouble to, create the illusion of being live, right? Well, that's fantastic.
All the time.
Yeah.
We never said that.
I think we literally said it during our Center Theater and Dance Fest set. I think we literally said that kooky mistake we just made proves it's improvised.
I don't remember that.
Well, we'll be able to go to the tape if you purchase your tickets through the Fest website, right? Then the proof is in the pudding, and one of you will have to eat crow there. So I noticed, Michelle, you have this really interesting quote on your email. You refer to your mother, your grandmother, and your daughter. Maybe you know it off the top of your head. I can find it here, but go ahead. What is it?
Yeah. So, okay. I'm so glad you asked me about this. And it's so funny. When I was running with my dog earlier this morning, I was actually thinking about talking about this quote.
Oh, cool.
What they call in the improv business, mind meld is going on. A little group mind is happening with Elaine and me here. Okay. I always have thought the women in my life have given me so much wisdom. My grandmother, she nailed it all the time. And so I pulled one of her top quotes from my life, manja. You can't go wrong with that.
Love it.
My mother, who would say, enjoy the process. So when life got difficult, stressful, and you're just trying to focus on the end goal, I just got to get this thing. It's like, wait a minute, enjoy what you're doing now, right?
Yeah.
And then you, as a tiny little baby, had wisdom, and she has so much wisdom. You can tell when you watch the show. Stella, we can also call it Stella's Wisdom Hour. That could also be the subtitle for QVC Commentary. But as a little baby, when we would do story time and read, you know, she would tell me and Todd, her daddy, when we would get too tired to keep going, we'd start nodding off. She'd wake us up with, say it. She'd say it. And I thought, say it is also such awesome advice for life. Like, so many times we struggle with difficult things to put things into words. And you know what? Just say it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful advice. And especially, you know, difficult things, like if we're hurting, you know, sometimes our instinct, maybe particularly as women, but maybe we feel like we have to stuff it down. But really, that's great advice, Stella. You were wise beyond your years. You're right. Just say it, you know, let it out. Let it out. That's fantastic. Oh, I'm glad that you wanted to talk about that. Stella, maybe you can answer this. So you've got the QVC commentary as part of your performance. It's you're right. It's not shtick. It's honest. It's how you improv off what the information that you're watching live. Now, what's next, Stella?
I don't know. High school.
High school, summer. How about summer break?
That is nice. It goes by really fast though, because we only get like 2 months.
I know. How come January and February don't go by as fast as June and July? Like, what's that about, right? I don't know.
That's so true. Amen to that. Yes, and to that.
Yeah, lunch hour, shortest hour of the day. You know, all of those truths. But so, well, we are really looking forward to your performance. What else do you want to share with the folks? Anything that I haven't covered? I've lost my notes in our.
I think you know, one thing that's interesting is I think improv has a lot of lessons for us as people. Yeah. And so I'm interested in that. You know, my day job, I teach media studies at our blue and white institution in town, Penn State. And in a lot of ways, even just how this show happened, I think I was like in ironic and a bit sad awe of that we could see QVC, like this media retail empire exist, you know, from infomercials. And so it was like a lesson in the economy of television, but kind of doing a little satiric commentary on it felt good. And at times we criticized the larger systems of oppression. Like, we get into that. So I think playing with stuff that's nasty, that's exploitative, you can actually arrive at some interesting critique and new ways of thinking by taking roles and playing characters, even if it's or especially if it's absurd.
Right.
And I think the yes and is even more awesome as an operating principle for life and for social movements that are very active right now.
And if you want to yes and it.
Only if you want to yes and it.
Yeah.
You have to want to yes and it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some things that maybe you just want to stop, right? So you don't want to yes and it, but right.
Yeah. I mean, standing as like an interpersonal kind of principle of communication, interpersonal communication when you're with someone else, like on a team, and you build this kind of solidarity as a team. You build each other's ideas up. That's really what yes and is. Now, you can disagree, but you acknowledge what the other person has said. So yes doesn't mean obey me, do what I say. It means acknowledge what I've said and then add your bit to it. Yeah,
exactly. And great communication advice all around. Absolutely. Great. So I cannot remember off the top of my head. I could look on the website when your performance is one of the tickets that people can buy. And I just realized now that because it's streaming, there is no particular time. I've confused myself. Like my rigid like world in which theater is scheduled is thrown into a tizzy by the virtual world, but it's an opportunity. So my final question for you two, and I think I already know the answer because you're doing a show Wednesday. Will you continue to use the Zoom and virtual connection even as we go back to normal?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we have found new improv communities doing this too. You know, socially distant improv is an improv community as well. And by showing up in people's Instagram theater, we've gotten to know each other and made new friends. And the same thing, there's another group out of Baltimore, although to say out of Baltimore is odd because it was founded during the pandemic. So it was like out of Zoom came Highwire Improv. And so we actually spun, just the way QVC has done, we spun off our QVC commentary into QVC2, which is also a channel of QVC.
QVC2 isn't a spinoff, it's just the reruns.
The channel. The channel's the rerun. But we spun ourselves off, and we're doing a slightly different form where we even take on characters inspired by the scene we're watching on QVC.
Mostly you.
Mostly me. Although we do that, we break into that in QVC commentary too. You'll see that.
Yeah.
It's a little, there's only a slight variation. I think if you're an improv nerd, you'd be able to spot the difference. The two forms will be noticeably different to all the improv nerds watching out there.
Yeah. And I'm sure there are many. It's all throughout our world, and that's a glorious thing. I want to leave folks. Is there a place where they could find more information about your performances, such as this QVC channel too that you've spun off? Is it on YouTube? Is there some place I can send people?
Yeah. So if you go to Highwire Improv, the YouTube channel, so all of our past shows, which we've only actually done 2 on Highwire, right? So you can see our last 2 shows.
You can watch all of QVC commentary on socially distant improv, though.
Beautiful. Well done, Stella.
Instagram has an archive of all of our shows. So we just put, every time we do a live show, we let it live forever, however long Instagram's life is going to be.
Okay, cool.
Be living there. So, and you can also follow me at Rocofem, ROCOFEM, Rocofem on Instagram, and you'll often see me shamelessly promote our upcoming live shows.
No shame necessary. I'm sorry, Stella. Yeah. What was that?
I said I never promote our lives.
It's all right. It takes a village. So it's been a pleasure to speak to the two of you today from my little cave back here, and where apparently I keep all of my lamps.
Lamp cave.
Only slightly awkward that I'm coming to you from my bookstore in a room that has perhaps no books in it, but it has been a pleasure. I look forward to your performance. I bought a ticket package for the entire festival so I can enjoy the entire stream throughout the weekend. So I look forward to seeing the two of you. Thank you so much for putting up with our technical difficulties and making it work. Love to you both. And we'll see you at the festival. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Thanks, Elaine. Thanks, Cynthia. Thanks, Amy.